In this video, you'll be learning how to make an evergreen tree. This is perfect for absolute beginners and is super cute. If you have zero experience in crocheting, don't worry because we'll be going nice and slow, so that you understand each step before moving on to the next one. If you like the evergreen tree, you can find the written pattern on our Instagram page at Animal Crochet Store. And without further ado, let's get started. To create an evergreen tree, the materials that you will need is a roll of Lush green yarn, a roll of brown yarn, a roll of black yarn, your crochet hook, tapestry needle, a stitch marker, a pair of scissors, a pair of eyes, also some stuffing. And you want to start off by creating a magic rain. So to create a magic rain, you'll have to take this end and place it in between your last two fingers, over your middle two, and then over your index finger. Then you want to loop over your fingers 2 times, like this. Now you can take your crochet hook, insert it under both loops, and pull out the yarn. Then you want to yarn over and pull it through the loop to create a slip knot. In our first round, you'll have to do 6 single crochet in the magic rain. So after you finish up your slip knot, you want to create 6 single crochet. To do a single crochet, you will have to insert your hook under both loops, pull out the yarn, and you will see 2 loops on your hook. Then you want to yarn over and pull through both loops, like this. That's your first single crochet. You'll have to repeat that 5 more times. Under both loops, pull out the yarn, yarn over, and pull through both loops. So after you finish your 6 single crochet, you want to count your stitches to make sure you get the correct number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 2 of these means 1 stitch. And once you have all 6 stitches, you want to close up this magic circle. And to do that, you'll have to pull this little yarn end slightly. And as you see, one is moving. You want to take that one and pull it from the bottom to close up the other loop. Like this. And then you can just simply pull the yarn end tight. And that's how you close up a magic circle. Before moving on to our second round, you want to put your stitch marker under both loops of the last stitch that you just created. And then we'll move on to our second round. For our second round, we'll be single crocheting around. So insert your hook under both loops of your next stitch and put in a single crochet. And same for our next 5 stitches. onto my last stitch, remove the stitch marker, and then put in a single crochet. Now you want to flip your pattern over so that it's on the right side, and you want to put back your stitch marker under both loops of your last stitch. Now moving on to our third round, we'll be doing a pattern of increase for 6 times. So to do an increase, you'll have to insert your hook under both loops of your next stitch, and you want to put in a single crochet. Then you want to insert your hook back into the same stitch and do another single crochet. So 2 single crochet into the same stitch. That's our first increase. We'll have to do that 5 more times. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet into the same stitch. Onto our last set, remove your stitch marker and put in an increase. 1 and 2 single crochet into the same stitch. Always remember to put back your stitch marker under both loops of your very last stitch. Moving on to our fourth round, we'll be doing a pattern of single crochet around. 1 single crochet until you reach your stitch marker. Onto our last stitch, remove the stitch marker and put in a single crochet. Put back the stitch marker and we'll move on to round 5. Onto our fifth round, we'll be doing a pattern of 1 single crochet followed up by an increase for 6 times. So onto our next stitch, we'll put in a single crochet, and second stitch we'll be doing an increase, meaning 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet into the same stitch. Again, we'll repeat the pattern 5 more times. 1 single crochet, an increase, remove the stitch marker and we'll put in an increase. 1 and 2. Put back your stitch marker under both loops of your last stitch. Now we'll count our stitches. So starting off this stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So by the end of round 5, you should have a total of 18 stitches. Moving on to our 6th round, we'll be doing a pattern of 2 single crochet followed up by an increase for 6 times. So let's do our first set together. Insert your hook under both loops of your next stitch. Pull out the yarn, yarn over and pull through. Single crochet. And we'll do another single crochet into our second stitch. Onto our third stitch, you want to put in and increase 1 and 2 single crochet into the same stitch. That's our first set. We'll have to repeat that 5 more times. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and then an increase. Onto our last stitch, remove the stitch marker and your last stitch should be an increase. 1 and 2. Onto our 7th round, things start to get a little bit more complicated as we're trying to replicate the flaps of the evergreen tree. So pay close attention and follow along. For our next round, we'll be doing a pattern of 1 slip stitch, chain 1, 1 double crochet, and then again chain 1, and then 1 slip stitch for 8 times. And for this round, we'll have to do all the pattern only into our front loop. So normally, if we crochet, we crochet under both loops. But for this whole round, you only want to crochet under the front loop, which is the loop that is closer to you. So now we'll do the first set together. Pull out the yarn and pull it directly through to create a slip stitch. Then you want to yarn over and pull it through to create your first chain. Then into our next stitch, you want to put in a double crochet. Yarn over, insert it into the second stitch, front loop only as well. Pull out the yarn, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through your last 2 loops. Then you want to chain 1, insert your hook into the next stitch, front loop only, pull out the yarn and do a slip stitch by directly pulling through the loop. That's our first set. We'll have to repeat that 7 more times. So again, front loop only, pull out the yarn and do a slip stitch. Chain 1, yarn over, insert your hook under the front loop, pull out the yarn, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. Always remember to only crochet into your front loop. Pull out the yarn, do 1 chain, and then insert it into the front loop, pull out the yarn, and pull it through. That's our second flap. We will have to repeat that 6 more times. And as you see here, if you are doing the pattern correctly, you should have a chain of back loops on the interior. So I'll just continue my pattern until I reach the stitch marker. Onto my last stitch, remove the stitch marker and put in a slip stitch. And this is how it should look when you finish. And now you can insert your stitch marker into the back loop where you just made your slip stitch. On to our next round, we'll be doing single crochet around our back loops. So pull all of them back, and your next stitch should be this stitch, single crochet around. Onto my last stitch, remove the stitch marker and put in a single crochet. As usual, always put back your stitch marker under both loops of your last stitch. Moving on to our 9th round, we'll be doing a pattern of single crochet around, this time under both loops of your next stitch. So just simply single crochet around. Remove the stitch marker and put in a single crochet. Onto our 10th round, we'll be doing a pattern of 3 single crochet followed up by an increase for 6 times. 1 single crochet into our next stitch, 1 single crochet into our second stitch, 1 single crochet into our third stitch, then an increase, meaning 2 single crochet into the same stitch. Repeat the pattern 5 more times. On to my last stitch. It should be an increase. Put back your stitch markers under both loops of your last stitch. Moving on to our 11th round, we'll be doing single crochet around again. So put in single crochets into each and every one of the 30 stitches. Remove the stitch marker and you want to put in your last single crochet. Put back your stitch marker under both loops of your last stitch, and we'll move on to our 12th round. For our 12th round, again, we'll be doing the leaves. So with the same pattern of 1 slip stitch, chain 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1 slip stitch. We'll have to do it for 10 times. So let's do the first 2 sets together. Insert your hook under the front loop only. Pull out the yarn and do a slip stitch. Then yarn over, pull it through to do 1 chain, yarn over, insert your hook. Under front loop of your next stitch, pull out the yarn 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through. Front 2, yarn over, and pull through the back 2. Yarn over again, pull through the loop to create 1 more chain. Insert the hook under the front loop only again, pull out the yarn, and we'll pull it through to do our slip stitch. That's our first set. We'll repeat that 9 more times. Slip stitch, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, slip stitch. And always remember, all these patterns are only crocheted into the front loop only. Onto my last stitch, remove the stitch marker and put in a slip stitch into the front loop. And again, you want to place your stitch marker into the back loop of the stitch that you just slip stitch into. Moving on to our 13th round, we'll be doing a pattern of 3 single crochet followed up by a decrease. So onto our next stitch, which is the back loop, you want to put in 1 single crochet. And into our second, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet into the third, and then we'll have to do a decrease. So to do a decrease, you have to insert your hook under the back loop, pull out the yarn, and insert your hook to the next back loop, pull out the yarn, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. That's your first decrease, and we'll have to repeat the pattern of 3 single crochet. And then a decrease. Onto my last set of decrease, remove the stitch marker, put in the decrease, put back your stitch markers on the both loops of your last, then we can move on to our 14th round. For our 14th round, we'll be doing a pattern of 2 single crochet followed up by a decrease. So into our next stitch, you want to put in a single crochet. And then another single crochet into our second stitch. Then you want to put in a decrease. Pull out your yarn, insert a hook into the next stitch, pull out the yarn, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. And you'll have to repeat that 5 more times. One, 2, and then a decrease. Onto last set of decrease, remove the stitch marker, Insert a hook under both loops, pull out the yarn. Again, under both loops, pull out the yarn, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. Put back your stitch marker under both loops of your last stitch. And before moving on to our 15th round, we can start plugging in the eyes. So, looking at our demo, you want to place the eyes 4 stitches away from each other. So it should look something like this. Then you can put in your washers if you're happy with how it looks. For our 15th round, we'll be doing a pattern of 1 single crochet followed up by a decrease. So we'll do the first set together again, 1 single crochet. And then a decrease. Insert your hook under both loops, pull out your yarn. Insert a hook under both loops of your next stitch. Pull out the yarn, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. Again, repeat the pattern 5 more times until you reach your stitch marker. Onto my last stitch, remove the stitch marker and put in your decrease. Always remember to put back your stitch marker, and after this round we'll have to change our color of yarn to brown. Take your brown yarn, find the end, and you can leave a little tail for your green yarn around here. Then you can just put it aside. Now with your brown yarn, place it inside. Hold it the way you would normally crochet. And for our next round, we'll be doing single crochet around. So insert your hook under both loops of your next stitch and just basically treat the brown yarn the same way you crochet with your green yarn. Like this. Before moving on, you can just tie the 2 ends together. Do 2 knots. Once that is secure, you can just put everything into the body. And then we'll proceed like normal. to my last stitch, remove the stitch marker and put in a single crochet. Put back your stitch marker under both loops of your last stitch. And the following 2 rounds will also be single crocheting around. So I'll meet you back when you finish the next 2 rounds. Now that I have finished my 18th round, you want to make your loop huge and then start stuffing the tree. So take a little stuffing and place it inside the tree little by little. So first you want to fill the tip. And at the same time you also want to shape your tree a little. Pull the leaves out and down. And don't forget to put stuffing for the stem as well. Now moving on to our last round, we'll be doing decrease for 6 times. So follow your yarn, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Again, pull out the yarn, pull out the yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Repeat that pattern 4 more times. On to our last stitch, remove the stitch marker and put in your last set of decrease. Now we have finished our pattern. You want to slip stitch into the next stitch to finish it up. So just pull out the yarn and pull it through. Cut your yarn and pull everything through. Now we'll have to close up this bottom hole. And to do that, you'll need your tapestry needle. So thread your yarn through your needle. And you want to go inside to outside under all 6 stitches. And then you just have to pull it tight. Once that's done, you can just hide the end inside the stem. And cut the yarn. And you want to reshape the tree a little. Now we're still missing the mouth, so take your black yarn and cut a good amount. For sewing, thread your yarn through your needle and insert it somewhere on the side. Now you want your needle out somewhere next to the eye. I'll leave a little tail on the side. Now you want to go across to the next eye, 1 stitch away, and then you want to go 1 stitch below, out from the center, and then pass your needle through the loop. And now you can get a little smiley face. Insert your needle back into the spot and then out. On the side where you inserted your needle previously. Now you can shape the little mouth a little. And just tie the two together. Cut the ends and tuck it in. And now you have finished your evergreen tree. You are more than welcome to put decorations on it and decorate your own little Christmas tree.